we've had some episodes where we believe it might have been a hitchhiker type effect. Even some of our researchers have also had very similar encounters. My brother-in-law, for instance, he had an orb over his house that was relatively close, within about less than a quarter mile, and he was able to record it. And it was a perfect sphere, but it had moved quite fast and then suddenly just disappeared. Gerald has also had an experience with it. We had Donna Leonardo, who's one of our other researchers. She said that she saw it in her house.
She actually woke up one morning and the object was hovering about the size of a baseball, hovering in the middle of the room.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people talk about. I mean, you probably heard Lou Elizondo
yes,
about it
yes,
at his house.
Yes.
There's a lot of the same thing. You're seeing these orbs. The one my brother-in-law saw, which he's a former Navy guy. It looked like the moon flying near a treetop level. It's the size of the moon that you'd see,
and that night, what's interesting, there was a full moon that night, and he saw it. Now this object appeared almost 180 degrees the other side, and it moved, it transversed, and he kept using the moon as a reference and moving it back. Yeah. And it was, if you looked at it, it looked like the size of the moon. Yeah. It was relatively close to what he saw. But what's interesting is he tracked it almost, I would say, maybe 220 degrees, 225 degrees around the property, and then it suddenly disappeared. And
so what keeps you guys going? I mean, there's times you mentioned that you're here and nothing really happens. What makes you want to get up and go out and try it again?
It's that curiosity. I would say it's a huge science interest for us. The fact that we've been doing this for quite a while now, and it's even as kids.
Yeah, we've always had
huge interest in it.
Phenomena.
Yeah. But you have evidence something's going on.
Yes.
More evidence you ever had in your life.
Yes. Yeah.
And most of us don't have this evidence, but I mean, you have collected evidence of something happening.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And and working with federal agencies.
Yeah.
It's it kind of promotes it exactly what we're doing and some of the experiences we've had. And add some validity, of course, to what we're doing, and as long as they have a genuine interest in it, and we can provide data, we're just going to continue to do what we're doing.
Now, do you think there'll be another vehicle down the line, like even more fitted out than this? I mean, this is pretty.
Well, we actually tried to look for funding. We suggested if we got funded, we actually put together a proposal that we would have a marine version of this, a totally retrofitted boat with all the equipment on it, sonar, remote ROVs.
I'm a boat guy, so let me get involved.
What we want to do is we want to look at the USOs. We want to be out on the water. If we're seeing it on the shoreline, I'm pretty confident that we'll see it out there as well. Mm-hmm. And especially with all these this drone incursions that has been happening. It seems to be offshore.
Yeah.
I think.
Did you see any of that?
Yes. We've had a few experiences with that. In November of 2022. We had 3-week period where we saw a ton of objects off the coast here, and very unusual activity. They were doing they were in a crisscross pattern, almost like a surveillance over the water, and we noticed it wasn't just these other craft that had seemed to have bright utility lights. There was also orbs. Accompanied by orbs, and we almost felt like it was a surveillance operation, possibly military or by some other nation or people, and they seem to be tracking these orbs that we've been studying for the last few years, and it's,
they were following these orb-like objects with these. They look almost like search beams. And it would aim horizontally and upward on angles, and you can see the light was hitting some kind of orb-like object that would pass in front of it, and they would also fade out, disappear, pop out in different areas. But it looked like that these drone-like objects were surveilling them.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
For
How did it go away?
This lasted roughly 3 weeks. When we observed it, 3 weeks. 3 weeks, over a 3-week period. And what was interesting about it is we saw the activity start up roughly about 7, 8 o'clock at night. And just before midnight, all the activity, at least with these drone-like vehicles, disappeared.
Now, how long can a drone, well, I guess it's how it's powered,
Yeah.
it can stay in
These
the
objects,
distance and all that.
these objects were out there for hours.
Yeah, most commercial drones won't last any longer than 20 minutes to a half hour.
Right.
Right.
And then if using intense lights, you're going to drain down a battery pretty quick.
And what do you, just your opinion, what do you think of the announcement, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, that it's nothing to do with the FAA?
The FAA.
After the FAA already said that they didn't know what they were, and what do you think about them changing course on that?
Well, I find it kind of absurd that they would claim that and not inform law enforcement, and they didn't inform the FBI, they didn't inform the Department of Homeland Security. Right. So, I mean, that's kind of an issue.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
So I'm not buying it.
No, neither will we.
Yeah. So I hope we actually see something tonight.
Yes.
How many nights would you say you've been? I mean, has it been like hundreds of nights that you've been out?
We've been for the 4 years, and we've been out every weekend, and sometimes weekdays. Wow. So it's quite a, and a 12-hour shifts doing it.
Yeah, so all night long. All night long.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you guys are doing it, and
thanks.
And it's really great to meet you both.
And you too.
Same here. Thank you.